Julio, you've got your finals MVP. We're going to get to in a moment, but we've got a Rox. I think we've got a Rox and a bit of a question for you from Web Central, for Web Central, I should say, from Brett in St Albans. Before we get to you, Julio, good afternoon to you, Brett.
Yeah, g'day, Shagger. I've got a double Rox and a question for JJ.
Fire away.
Double Rox. First one is Mitch McGovern. I thought he was excellent on Friday. I reckon he nullified Heaney and just took him completely out of the game. The second one is a duo. Lockie Whitfield, as JJ said, and Josh Kelly, absolute star, and you can include him into the great left footers of the past 20 years, I think. So that's my input. And the question for you, JJ, is...
Yes.
If you're Todd Goldstein, what are you doing in the off-season? Are you staying at North and probably being the number one ruck next year, or are you going to Essendon and you're going to be third in line and never going to even play in a final, let alone win one?
Essendon? Is that?
It's been talked about.
It's been
not a chance I'm going to
It makes no sense for Essendon, I don't think.
Well,
you've got Draper and you've got Brian that you want to get games into.
The connection's obvious with Brad Scott.
Of course.
No, don't do that, Essendon.
I'm not sure that.
Or Todd.
I'm not sure that cheap shot about never winning a final was necessary, but that's okay. Coming from North
Brett
Brett
is a passionate North Melbourne supporter.
Inaccurate.
We won 11 games this year. They haven't won that in 6 years. So
it would be, given the midfielders, the young midfielders that he's got swirling around at his feet at North Melbourne.
He's more of a chance of playing at North Melbourne because I think my excitement for Tristan Sherry's just cooled a little bit.
Right.
He had a little, I don't know whether he had some ailments this year, maybe some injuries, but last year I thought, like the look of this guy, but just didn't quite see it.
Flatlined a bit
as much this year. So, but there's no doubt Todd Goldstein will be playing some VFL footy next year, but that's all right.
No doubt.
Well, he played some this year.
Yeah, well, that's right.
Well, at North, you mean, if he stays at North?
I think so.
You don't
I think Clarko's showed intent to try and give Cherry and Coleman Jones opportunities ahead of him.
Is there anywhere he can go that he could be the number one ruckman?
Well, that's cutting off your nose to spite your face a bit sometimes.
Lost a couple of assistants today too, North Melbourne. Johnny Blakey and Gavin Brown.
Both gone?
Yes. Both gone.
There's a bit of
gone elsewhere or just gone?
Just mutual
moved on.
Decisions.
And Sean Grigg?
Sean Grigg's gone to Gold Coast. That was a poorly kept secret, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, I think
it was always pretty likely that
Sprout.
Damien Hardwick was going to take a couple of former players and coaches with him.
No, good point. Yeah. Finals MVP thanks to Sonos, a game-changing sound this final season. What's this all about, Julio?
Well, every week of the finals, we're just going to look at the MVP from each game, and I guess we'll work out from that the MVP of the finals. So if anyone's got their thoughts on who from one of the games on the weekend, most valuable player in that game, it's pretty tough when you look through. There wasn't obvious decisions in every game.
Remind, what does MVP stand for?
Well, it means most valuable player.
Right. Oh, so you think it has to be a member of the winning team, do you?
Yes. Well, they won.
No, because you can argue that if the player if it happens to be from a losing side, the team would not have competed or contended in the game for as long as they did without
them. So
Gary Ablett, Gary Ablett in the '89 grand final with 9 goals was not the most valuable player.
Someone on who did they play?
Hawthorn.
Yes, someone.
So it has to be from a winning side.
That's ridiculous.
Yes,
I don't.
The finals aren't about admirable losses.
No,
because Sydney's admirable loss earns them Mad Monday today.
But that doesn't mean. No, I don't agree.
I know. I can see what you're saying, but I disagree with you.
It's win or go home, mate.
Yeah, but that's the team.
Well, no, it's not. You got a double chance.
That's a result of the team.
Win or
the individuals.
Win or you're up against it.
The individuals' performances within the teams may warrant MVP type status from attached to their performance.
All right.
Well, have you got your thoughts? Give us a call 1300-736-736 or
from any of the games.
Yeah,
right.
I'll start on Thursday night. We've got to go back to.
Well, I'm gonna rain on your parade right down the line because without the 4 that I've got, their teams would not have been in the games for as long as they were, starting on Thursday night. And the MVP status belongs to Max Gawn, in my eyes.
Yeah, no, he was great. Fantastic. Well, just not valuable enough to get a win.
No, that's true, but that doesn't mean it. Oh, we already had that argument.
Yeah. That's right. You stick with your theory and you stick with yours.
Exactly right.
I'll stick with mine, which is the same as Andy's.
You went for Gorney?
No, but I don't think it has to be for the winning team.
No.
I went for Ian Hill a.k.a. Bobby.
So did I. I think he was the most
Lit the
valuable
joint up
player.
in the first quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Lit it up. Charlie Cameron-esque.
Friday night,
All right.
Carlton, Sydney.
Well, I'm going to stay with my little down the line of the defeated teams. I think he had the.
Oh,
Well, Errol Goulden was I think Errol Goulden was the best player on the ground. So I'm going to say that Errol Goulden, while his team didn't get a result, they wouldn't have got within 7 points without him. They wouldn't have been a chance with 25 seconds to go.
no, that'll
without
mean a lot to him. He'd be tuning in on the app at the Bondi Surf Club, having a beer in the start of his off
There we
season.
go. Murray was a wrap from a performance, so that means something, you know. Hasn't wiped it just because we got beaten.
Carry that into the off season. That'll spur me on.
Well, he hasn't just wiped what I did because we didn't win.
Adam Chera.
Outstanding.
He's been a big difference maker. I think he's been as important as any of your Carlton boys.
He was
late in the season. 24 touches, 7 score involvements. Does a bit of everything. 7 tackles.
Big goal he kicked
5
too.
inside 50s and a nice goal.
No, Blake Acres for me. I thought Blake Acres. Well, now he had a lot of turnovers. I noticed a few people on the 40 Wings Temper have mentioned that maybe we're not highlighting the mistakes he made, but I think when the game was on the line, he did some big things.
Well,
he touched a couple of balls.
Yeah,
He touched
well,
one on 2 on the line. The kick, chase, follow, tackle, kick the guy only Carlton goal in the last quarter, and he was excellent all night. So Blake Acres for me.
Spot on. Jack Steele, Saturday afternoon. Team's not in it. Not in it without Jack Steele. Heroic
You're
performance.
right, they're not in it. They're out.
Heroic
They're done.
performance from Jack Steele.
It's
Led
a
from the
rat.
front. Pushed, swam against the tide all day long.
She's a rat.
Unbelievable performance from
Off-season
Jack Steele.
starts
His best
today.
best game of the year, Jack Steele. Saved it for the
What's his
final.
best game for the year? No doubt about that. We will agree
A
there.
very valuable player.
My favourite player in the competition, Tom Green.
Yeah.
Were they on each other?
35 disposals.
Would have
Well,
they
if
been
they
playing
were,
each
Jack
other?
Steele didn't do enough because they didn't win.
The midfielders, those types of midfielders ever really
No,
play on each other?
probably not.
They don't really play
Probably
one
not.
another, do they?
Tommy Green, who's I reckon you could accuse him of being one of those guys who handballs a bit. 9 inside 50s on Saturday. So
Kicks?
changed his game.
They were
We could
kicks.
presume
Fine
most
play.
But you can handball the ball inside 50. Right?
Thank you, Julian. I'm well aware of that.
I'm just saying.
He's in the votes, but I'm giving the 3 to Jack Steele.
I'd be surprised if he handballed it inside 57 times, but if he did, I
could.
retract. I already
60
do.
out, handball over the top, inside
go
50. Thank you very much.
I'll go through the
Nah, Josh Kelly for me. Josh Kelly was
Yes,
a class
he's
player
played well.
on the field and made them pay when he had
He
the
played
ball
well.
on his left boot.
He did play well. Again.
No, he's going,
When
You're
the
just
to-
being a pest.
now
when
you're
the
being
tide-
silly. Now you're being silly.
When the top, no, well, I wanted to give Zach Butters an honourable mention, but
They lost by 8 goals.
I know.
It's hard to make the
Joe
argument.
Danaher was the MVP on Saturday night.
He was.
Joe Danaher.
Kicked 5.5. Young Jasper pinched one off him.
Yes, he did.
Fellow key forward.
Although
Joe,
based on last
filthy
year,
about that.
based on last week, Joe was probably no certainty to kick that.
That's
Because he
correct.
missed one
That's quite
from-
correct.
From the goal scorer himself. Cam Rayner.
Yes.
A
Oh, Rod's
medium
not
numbers, mega
It's
impact.
a
Yeah,
turning
huge.
rod now. He's coming
Yeah,
good.
no,
It's-
Mega impact.
Yeah.
Cameron Rayner.
I'm going to go Hugh McCluggage. I thought most of their midfielders weren't awesome, but he was the standout. Kicked a couple. Thought he was excellent.
Yeah, he chipped away.
Only
He
caught
just,
the-
just chips and chips away, doesn't he?
I only caught the very, very end of Cam Rayner's interview on breakfast, but he seems like a very
No, he's good. He's a good chat.
fun-loving-
No, he's a good chat.
He was, of course, you'd be up and about when you're the best
No,
player on
he's
the
always
ground,
come
but-
across really
Yeah,
well.
he was great.
So is his uncle. Uncle Pete or Johnny, or he's got an uncle that rings up here every.
Oh, I've seen him in the room.
regulars-
He's in the
Oh,
room.
right.
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
seen him in the
yeah.
room.
And he doesn't like it when people get on Cam's back for maybe not doing enough. And he a very, very strong and passionate supporter of Cam. And he'll be feeling very happy with himself right now, the unk, because the
good,
kid's
uh,
going beautifully.
Good dude, a Stars boy.
Well, there
Really?
you go.
Some trivia. My grandfather founded that football club.
Yours? Mm-hmm. Not about you, mate.
Yeah, to say.
Just off the 40
Well,
Wings
that's a nice
temper
bit of
text, Michael, Ollie Lord. We'll get to Ollie Lord because Port have got a selection headache big time this week. Big time.
C. Dixon.
Yes.
All right, we'll
Can't play
get to
all
that.
four.